Okay. And then, wait 1 second. And then as soon as I see Kevin, I'll let him in. Hi, Allison, do you hear us?
Yes, thank you.
All right, just give us a second and Nancy's gonna start the meeting and then we can go to you.
Okay, great.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the February 5th scheduled meeting of the New Canaan Parking Commission. It is 7:02 p.m. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And do I need, I always get confused. Do I need a motion?
I think you can just call the meeting to
Just
order.
call the meeting to order.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
great.
And
So
then,
welcome, everyone.
Perfect. And then the first thing on the agenda would be the minutes for you, Nancy. So if you want to just
Right,
ask
we have
me
a
about-
copy of last month's meeting schedule, minutes from our last meeting on January 8th, and I'd like a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Katie, Matt, Marley, great. Minutes approved.
Okay. All right.
And then in terms of the agenda, we've got Allison
Yes.
here to talk about her appeal of the violation dated January 14th. So,
Allison, you're more than welcome to share the parking commission, just so you know, has your written appeal. Okay, as well as, just so you know, the attached picture that was on the ticket. And so you are more than welcome to explain now in your own words what exactly had happened. You're on mute, so you need to unmute yourself.
There we are. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you taking the time to hear me out. So I parked in a very, it's this one-off parking spot right by the parking lot across the street from the fire station. And I apparently went over the curb, and it's a very small curb. So I didn't even know I had gone over it. And apparently in doing so, the back of my car was mostly on the sidewalk, but I was more concerned with the front part of my car because I didn't want it to block the turn in to the parking lot and the fire hydrant that was there. So I completely had no idea I was on the curb when I left my car. I didn't even turn around. I didn't look. I just left and went to my Pilates class. So, and I was really bummed out when I came back.
yeah, nobody wants to see a ticket on their car when they're approaching.
Allison,
Yeah.
so that's a parking space there ahead of you, sort of?
Yeah, I actually took a picture, if I can show you. I took a picture of the front of my car. I didn't take a picture of the back of my car because I was like, well yeah, I'm on the curb, whatever. But my biggest concern was making sure that there was enough. I don't know if you can see that. If there was there's like a layer. Hang on a sec.
Oh,
Can you see that okay?
really, I can see the
Here, let me
post, yeah.
see, that's the front of my car. There's there, and then there's the fire hydrant, and then there's the turn in right there.
What lot is this? It's not Locust.
Yeah,
It is
Is
Locust.
it Locust? Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't even know the name of the streets.
Yeah.
But I typically park in the lot after 5 because I'll go to Pilates class, but it wasn't after 5. And I'm like, oh, look, there's a vacant spot. Great. And I don't have a job. And I thought, oh, this is good. I don't have to pay for parking. So, and then I end up paying $50. I'm like, $50. I'm not
Oh,
worth it.
I have
gosh,
a
yeah.
question for Stacy. Stacy, is that a graduated curb that goes right down to the pavement?
No, it's
No.
a regular curb.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Allison, you
Yeah, the
went
only-
up.
Over the curb, yeah. The
The
only
curb
thing graduated
yeah.
is way to the driveway of the parking lot. That
Correct.
the driveway.
Yeah. The only thing
That
I
doesn't
will
even
say
look
is
like a spot.
the curb is so small. I mean, it's not like your regular, curb that in the back. On the side, it's the full size curb, right? So when you pull up, if you were parallel parking, it would be a normal size curb. But the curb in the very back that kind of swerves to make it a spot, and I think the sidewalk is brick.
Yes.
So I think the curb might have even been brick. So it's only probably,
Not.
no, it's not the one
No.
behind, it's not brick.
The-
It's a regular curb.
yeah.
It's very small in comparison to like normal curves. So it was like a brick or a brick and a half in width. I didn't even feel it when my head wasn't there. I
Right.
didn't even feel it. I had no idea. I would have pulled forward if I did.
Stacy, I have the picture that is on, I think we
yeah.
all do, that was on the ticket.
Right.
And it's a different view from behind the vehicle that, I mean, if I can share,
Sure.
it looks like I'm
Yeah,
able
please
to,
do.
unless you want to share. But
I think, I'm not, because I'm on this and I have my
Okay.
laptop. If you can share, that would make it a lot easier for me.
okay, let me see if this works. Okay, it's
There you go.
okay. Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you were.
So,
Had no idea. Seriously.
right.
That was a funny live reaction, Allison.
Well, I'm being completely honest because I had no idea. I mean,
She's as far back as the no park, almost the fully
well,
into the no.
Right, like
parking.
I don't even see a space. Is that a
There's
line that,
space in front.
yeah.
So
Do you
if
see the
underneath the
white line?
car, if you see underneath the car, that would be where the rear of a vehicle should be and be, if you can see.
yeah,
a
that
little
white
further
line?
front
but-
of a car, you can see the edge of where the end of the space or the
Right.
beginning of the space starts, and then the entranceway to the driveway is a little bit past that. Where there's
So,
Got
a
it.
okay.
ratio to get into the lot.
Okay.
But
So-
where's the fire hydrant then? It's up on
So the
the,
fire hydrant is more inside the lot. It's more in the lot, not on the sidewalk. And the rule of thumb is, if I remember correctly, that you have to be at least 10 feet from the fire hydrant, and the fire hydrant is 10 feet from the space at least, because it's more into the lot. than
Right.
it is. It's not on the
Yeah.
sidewalk when fire hydrants are. It's in the lot.
got it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Oh, I see. All right. Okay. I guess I
Nancy,
didn't even look-
I just sent you a link to like a picture of the where on Google of like where the fire hydrant and everything is.
Oh, great. In my email,
Yeah.
if we want to, do we want to, well, now, let me stop sharing while I find that, unless you want to see everything on my computer.
It was a completely honest mistake. I had no idea.
Well, I
Now-
guess my question is, wouldn't you, because it looks to me, like we're not looking at the
Yeah.
pic again right now. Oh, I see. Okay, so I can share that. But it looked to me that when you got out of your out of your driver's side door, that you would have been almost right on top of those yellow lines. Like it looked to me like those yellow lines came up to the back door. And so I
Well, the
was
thing
just
is,
having a hard time trying to understand how that could be missed.
Well, if you notice, when I got out, I didn't even look. But if I were to have looked, I would have seen that my rear left tire was on the tar and not on the sidewalk. So I probably would have just left anyhow, because if it were the rear left tire that were on the sidewalk, I would have seen it right away, and I would have fixed my car. Look how tight that spot is, and it's at a wonky angle. So, I mean, I was being even in my car, but the spot
Right.
itself has an angle. So,
Well, but they have in fact improved it by painting the stripes. I don't know when this pic was taken, but the stripes weren't even there. So that would have been a
No, the stripes
cue.
start a little bit back, but if you see the angle of the white, because that's a little bit under the car. So it's just showing that the sidewalk kind of makes that angle. It's straight, so that's where the parking spot is. Then it
Mhm.
angles out a little bit, and then it goes straight, like as you're walking towards the post office. So the area that is the parking spot starts right at the edge of the driveway, but there's also an arrow that they don't want you going past that white line. And then there's a line right as the sidewalk kind of starts making its angle. So that's the area, that's the spot.
Yeah, yeah. So I was,
You kind of were not
see it.
even, you were way back
Right.
out of that area.
Yeah, I know I consciously made it a point to make sure that I was far enough back, obviously, so that if some, because it gets really tight and if people are trying to turn into that parking lot when it gets busy. So I was making it a point to be back far enough so that if somebody was turning into the parking lot, that there was plenty of room for them to do that. So instead of, making sure that the nose of my car wasn't, encroaching
Sorry,
on,
you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why there's those two lines. If you stayed in between those two
Yeah.
lines, you would have been fine.
I'm trying to pull up the picture of the car again, but for some reason it keeps pausing my sharing. So looks like I'll have to stop sharing. Do you need me to pull that pic up again, or we all saw it? Good.
I've got it. I don't know about anyone else.
oh my God, there's nobody in the parking lot.
It was a different day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Google picture is from December of 2021,
right. Okay.
so it's a little old, but
Sure.
It's kind of a terrible spot. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
I think you did the right thing by not blocking the driveway. Like, I mean.
I don't know where my head was. And you guys, I have to say, I've gotten parking. I think this is like a second New Canaan parking ticket. Now I'm going to confess, but I lived in California for a while and I just have to laugh at some of my parking situations in California. I'd be up on the curb. I'm good. Gotta go, but this was a complete honest mistake that I was obstructing the sidewalk, I recognize is not a good thing, right? So people have to get by and I had no idea. I really didn't.
Allison, do you have a rear cam on your car?
I do, but I shut it off because it annoys me. Because
Oh.
it beeps. Yeah. So I don't even use it.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
you should.
It would have been- that would get you close to the curb.
I know. It's was one of those things that was I didn't even feel it. I don't know. So that picture was taken in 21 and now it's 24. So it was only what, 3 years old maybe? Yeah. I don't know. The curb itself was so low that I didn't even feel it. So, I mean, it looks like a normal size curve in that picture, but it just seemed like it was way smaller than that.
yeah. But
Now
I
that
just,
I'm going to be there tomorrow, so I'm going to take a picture of the curb.
yeah,
So
I just
great.
can't get over the yellow lines. That's kind of where I'm having an issue.
So
You
usually, the way it works, just to explain to Allison, and I hope I'm not interrupting, that if all of you right now don't have any further questions for her, then she's more than welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. We go on to the next stuff on the agenda, and then the parking commission will make their decision. And then let me know, I'll be here to know, and then I will let you know after that. So, but
Will you guys email me then or?
yes, I will
Okay.
email you what their
All right.
decision would be.
Okay.
But unless, I
Thank
just
you.
want to make sure that the parking commission does not have any further questions for you.
A warning would have been nice. That's all I have to say.
Well,
I understand, but still, it was a completely innocent mistake. Yeah, I had plenty of time to make it to my class. So if I were rushing, that would have been an excuse, but no, it was completely an innocent, my head must not have been there. I must have been thinking of something else, but thank you. I won't take any more of your time. So I appreciate you listening to me.
Allison, I just want to
Thank you.
add that we do understand that it was an innocent mistake.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, that only carries so much weight, but
Yeah.
we do understand that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank
Have a good
you.
evening.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
coming.
you know,
Have a good
Allison,
evening.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Allison, come back. Not here, to New Canaan.
All right, so next on the agenda is Tiger. I know that you guys are interested in our parking projects and where we are with them, so we left it off a little while back and wanted to bring Tiger back to update you all on everything. Tiger?
Well, thank you
Yeah.
very much. Glad to be back. I'll give you a brief update on where we are on a couple of lots, and then I think I'll open it up for questions, and then we'll go from there. So, this spring we're looking to do the main train station lot. We had it out to bid last year, had everything ready to go, and the state delayed us, unfortunately. So we missed the season. But contractor still wants to perform the work. We want them to do the work. Money's still there. And we'll come in the spring and try to find a time when it's best for us to get in there and do it. Then we'll talk to Stacy, and when she determines that it's a great time for us to go in, we'll go in. The other lot that we'll be focusing on is the Playhouse lot.
Great.
So behind the Playhouse, adjacent to the Town Hall Annex, we'll be we'll be going out to bid within the next week or so for the walkway and ramp, pedestrian ramp, to lead from the Playhouse lot down to the alley, which then leads to Elm Street. So the whole alley, the alley and the stairs and the ramp will be installed. And then we're going to back ourselves out of there. We're going to move the dumpster, the compactor and the dumpsters across the way and embed them into the embankment between the Park Street lot and the Playhouse lot. There's an embankment with several sets of stairs.
Huh.
So we're gonna embed it into the embankment there, build a little enclave or a little cut in for him, and then repave the Playhouse lot, restripe it, and bring it up to code as far as striping width and depth. So it'll likely be a 9x18, similar to what we did at the Morse Court lot. So 9 wide, 18 deep. Given the fact that they're 8 to 8.5 feet right now, there might be a little bit of creep, and we're going to see. We're going to hope that we don't lose any spaces on the last two stalls, but there is a little bit of room. If you're coming down the road from the Park Street lot past the Playhouse lot to the Town Hall, you can see that the parking spaces in the middle are set back a little bit. So there's a little bit of room before we hit the travel way. And we're hoping that a little bit of extra room will give us the additional footage that we need. So we won't lose, at that point, we would lose 2 spaces, one, the 2 side-by-side spaces. But that's our goal right now. So again, they'll come in, they'll do the work interior, starting with the alley, work their way up the staircase and the ramp, and then work our way out. We can't work our way in because we box ourselves in, so we have to work our way out. So, and then once we finish those, at that point, the majority of the lots in town are pretty good. We're gonna look to repave Elm Street. So we'll be putting in the bump outs on the southern side, which would be in front of, let's say, Dolce, Dunkin' Donuts at the intersection of South Avenue and Elm Street, and then the bump outs across the street from the Playhouse. That will allow us to gain back 5 spaces to the road itself. We'll do those spring, summer, and then pave in the summer. Likely the paving will be done at night. Last time we paved Elm Street, we paved it at night during the middle of the summer. And that would be probably our goal again. It's much too difficult to try to do during the day. So we would mill it one night, 2 nights, and then pave it one night, 2 nights. So probably a 3-day operation, maybe 2 days at best, but 2 nights, I should say, two separate mobilizations. And that should pretty much do the downtown area for now. And then we'll look to crack seal any lots, do any localized repairs, things of that nature. And we have our eyes on the Talmud chill lots as well, as far as what those are going on, but that's our plan, for this coming season. I don't know if you have any questions on the plan before we get to like the center school lot, where I know you guys had questions.
So, Tiger, thank you again for all of this. I think the reaction just has been very positive,
Good.
from everybody I see and talk to about it. So the Playhouse lot is the Playhouse lot. What about the Park Street lot up above? Is that, what are the plans for that?
That'll be in a subsequent year, and maybe the
Okay.
year after. It might be this season, but I have to look and see how much money we have
Right.
in our paving account. To us, the primary one, the one of most concern, the one that we're receiving complaints on the most is the Playhouse
Playhouse.
lot, because of
Right.
the it seemed like the moment we changed the Morse Court lot to a better size,
Right,
then everyone started complaining about the
of
Playhouse lot.
course. Now
Yeah.
they're like, wow, this is the way it's supposed to be. Now what about this?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
about
it
this
was
piece?
almost instantaneous, so, which is
Right.
fine. But we're also trying to, in order to accommodate the ramp, we have to move the dumpster. The moment I move the dumpster, I build it into the embankment. The moment I build it into the embankment, now I've got the lot free. It's the perfect time to pave it. So and it needs it. It's in pretty rough shape. So
Yeah.
I think all that, and then we get to restripe it to accommodate everyone's, a little bit better for everyone, and maybe get rid of the complaints. So that lends itself to one large project, and let's go and do it. And then, like I said, we are looking at the Park Street lot for either this coming year or the next. But it is it's pretty much the same condition and age as the Playhouse lot. So we'll be looking to do that again, that one as well.
Mhm. So just so I'm clear, the embankment, you're not going to embed it into the embankment of where that long-term parking is, or the 4-hour parking that's facing the Park Street lot. Is it going to be into the bank that's facing that's down lower, that where there's that
It'll be
access point?
it'll be in essence, it's in the Playhouse lot. So at that grade,
Okay.
because the restaurants are, the
Right.
restaurants are coming up the stairs. I don't want them to make them walk all the way up to the Park Street lot. So they're just going to have to, in essence, they're walking across the parking lot. Right now where the dumpsters are, they got to walk probably another 100 feet to get to where the staircases are. And that's where the dumpsters will be, at that grade. So they'll be at the grade of the Playhouse lot. And so the dumpster company, when they come in to empty it, they'll come in to the Playhouse lot and empty it from there. Did that answer your question?
Yeah,
Okay.
more or less.
All right. What I can do is I can send Stacy the plan, and then she can kind of send it around to you guys so you can see where the dumpster is going, so you can see it, and then you understand it. If you have any questions, then you can certainly come back and ask again. But there's not many places where it can go, and we needed to put accessible parking spaces adjacent to the ramp for the Playhouse. So we had to move the dumpsters out of that
Right.
location, and we pretty much have to stay on that in that area. And at that point in time, it starts to get a little limited on your options.
Is there a plan to put a ramp from the Park Street to the Playhouse lot?
Not at present. Right now, we have 3 tiers of stairs. We don't have a plan to ramp that. It's not a requirement. The accessible parking spaces in the Park Street lot are actually adjacent to the Park Street sidewalk. So they're at the as you're leaving, is the northern driveway leaving the Park Street lot, right, across the street from Seminary. There are accessible spaces there, and the route is to come out to the sidewalk there and then travel down Park Street to Elm Street. So, but the Playhouse lot is landlocked. So, and has only one accessible route, and that's down the stairs to Elm Street. So we have to address that.
And then what's the main train station? Is that the upper lot, or is that like the the main lot or like the lower lot
Well, the northern lot, so the one
Yeah,
right
northern lot.
where the, yeah,
where
where
the
the,
train get the station is?
where the depot is, yeah, where the station is, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, we wanted to do it last year. We had it where we were gonna do all three lots, Locust, Lumberyard and the train station and just ship people between them. And, we just couldn't get that final hurdle with the DOT. So we're working through that now and we'll have that hurdle. We plan to have that hurdle for this season.
Well, they did a great job with the lumberyard lot and Locust. So,
Thank you. I think they came out very nice. Yeah.
Mhm.
There was a newer technique for us and I think they both are, they should handle well and hopefully we'll get 5, 7, 10 years out of it. So our goal was 5 to 7. I'm hoping for 7 to 10. I think see how this winter goes. Winter's going to be awful for pavement, but we'll see how it fares in the spring.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Because I know you had I know Stacy brought up some concerns about the what is it? The center school lot. Sorry, had a moment there. Let me share my screen because I'll just bring up a picture of the center school lot. So we Maria and I, our town engineer, went out there today to take a look at the lot. And in essence, the striping that is there in this picture is what's there now. And we were there, it was busy, it was full, and there was a lot of people moving in and out. The unfortunate thing was there was a lot of people parking where there weren't spaces, which was causing some problems. And that, I'm sure that probably happens a lot because right here, if you can see my cursor right here, there were 3 cars parked here across the way so they were basically blocking this travel way. And where this white car is, I keep getting where this white car is, that car was trying to back out of the space and it couldn't get out of the space. It took a while to get out. And then 2 people were waiting to pull in. So it kind of gummed up the lot for a while as we were watching people trying to navigate out. And then we had some additional people parking here. We had 3 people parking along this. And I imagine, Stacey will probably tell you that it happens a lot. The lot, like I said, the lot was full and people are going to park where they're going to park. But what we did notice overall is that for the most part, the striping is good. Okay. But the problem that we have is right here at this intersection, because as you come around, it's clean that we want you to turn right. We want you to basically, travel in a circular pattern. But when you get here, they don't know that they can travel down this way. So all this is locked for them and the car wants to go this way. So we want to put a secondary arrow here, right in here to tell people that they can come this way and they can travel that way. Because anyone comes in off of South Avenue knows they can come here or come here. It's obvious based upon the pattern. And then from here, we're telling them to turn right. And from here, we're telling them to turn right. But this is the one spot where they don't know what to do. So if we put another arrow in here, directing them to here, the moment they get to here, they know they're either leaving or they're coming around. They get to here, they come around. They get to here, they know they got to go here. They get here, they know they got to go here. They come here and they can circle back around or they can leave. So it's really, for us, is just this one spot, which I think is causing some problems for people. And we did see someone, when we first pulled in, came around here and stopped right here and didn't know where to go, like was trying to figure out which way am I supposed to go? Because the arrow, in essence, when you have that arrow coming out, you think you can't go in and it's stymied them. So it was good that we were there right at that moment. And then they proceeded with caution through here. And then at that point in time, they were stuck here because now this arrow is telling them you can't come out. So now they were stuck to go around. So I think if we put one here, a bidirectional arrow, one saying you take a right-hand turn as you're coming out of that stall, one is you take a right-hand turn as you're coming in. I think that's going to allow everyone to understand that it's okay. You can come down here and you can come out of here, but we just want you to work on the perimeter. And then for these spaces in here, the person can come in here, they can see that this arrow is directing them this way, and they can follow along and get into those couple of 6 middle spaces that seem to maybe be a little bit of a problem. But we drove it 3 times. We went around it 3 separate times, took a look at each time, watched the people. We were there for a good 15, 20 minutes watching. And it was, like I said, it was a great time because it was really busy with a lot of people and a lot of cars trying to access it. So we could see exactly what everyone's decision making was at the time. And while everyone drove slow, they were able to navigate. And I think that will help. I don't know if you have any questions, but that was our initial take. We're trying not to put so many out there because you get to a corner, there's only one way to go. You get to this corner, you got to turn left. You get to this corner, you have to turn left. There's no sense in putting an arrow there telling them that they got to turn left. They already know they got to turn left. It's really just in the points where, okay, where do they go? And we would rather not have anyone come back up this aisle. So if they've already made it to this point, we're going to ask them to circle again. It's really here where we get them to come in here and access all of these spaces and the exit drive. Because right now they don't know that they can come through the exit drive. They just know it's an entrance. But the moment we ask them to tell them it's permissive to come this way, the moment they get here, they see the double yellow line and the stop bar and the stops, they know at that point in time, okay, I can get out. That's intuitive because that's just normal driver behavior. But it's really just this one spot where they don't know that they can come. That the arrow is pointing at them and they don't know that they can actually go down there. So for them, they're like, how did the cars get in there? They don't know. So I think that's our look right now.
I have driven that myself, and the arrows pointing out has just seemed incongruous to me because I do know that's an exit there because there's the stop sign,
Right.
like you said, the double yellow. So I just think it will just be a visual cue that will make everything go away. It's just all
Right.
that.
That was our thank you. That was our take as well. When we got there, it was like, okay, we can see it, because like I said, we could see it at that point. So I think the rest of them were all intuitive. Every other turn, once you're in there, is intuitive. So it's really just that one is not. So I think that if we put that in there, and then we can always, if there's another complaint, Stacy can certainly come and it's not hard to put an arrow out.
So will there be two arrows, one pointing in and one pointing out like that?
Yes. Yeah. So we'll keep this arrow, or we might have to shift it a little bit,
Yeah.
but it'll have this right-hand turn here. And then we'll have one here on this corner making a right-hand turn in. So you'll, in essence, you'll be able to come in here or come out, right? So it'll know that it's two-way traffic, and the stalls accommodate that. So the width of the stalls already accommodate the two-way traffic. So it's not a problem to have two cars traveling through it either. It's just that when they get there, that decision is, we watched that one car, and that one car, there were spaces open, and the car just, it didn't know it could go there to get into the open spaces, and then they were stuck, right? And then they just continue to drive, and then they'll be in that interior circle the entire time. They'll never leave, right? So we have to give them a way to get out. If you look at it from that standpoint. So, yes, stuck all, I can't get left. I don't know if you ever watched Chevy Chase on vacation, European vacation, but yeah, that's what we came away with, and I think that'll work. And like I said, we looked at every other corner, every other intersection, and Maria was of the opinion, I shared it, that we didn't need anything else. We just needed that one, and it should go, and it would go better. And we can talk to Lisa and Stacy's department, and she already has the turning templates. We bought them for her previously, so we can work with the highway department and get that striped. Moment we get a little bit of warmer temperature, right around 40 degrees, anything a little bit colder, and the paint just doesn't like it, and the paint's just going to come up. So 40 degrees and rising, which maybe by the end of the week we'll get that, or next week, and then we can stripe that out. And then if there is a problem, we'll come back. There's no problem.
And Tiger, is there ever an issue with people entering the parking lot and then wanting to turn left, or is that clear that it's a right hand?
That's clear. That's clear. When they come in here, this is permissive, right? We don't care if they go here, and we don't care if they go here. Here is clear. It's smack in the middle of the travelway. It's clear that you want to come that you should turn right. And in essence, it's almost intuitive too for the driver to turn right, and proceed in that fashion versus turning left. It's a little counterintuitive. He has to cross the lane to turn left versus he just stays on a right-hand turn basis. But this one arrow is very clear as you enter off of Maple. It's very clear. It's staring you straight in the face, telling you to go that way. And we didn't see anyone traveling in the wrong direction. Let's put it that way. They were all traveling counterclockwise. No one was traveling clockwise. So it worked out. And it's while we were there. So it worked out that everyone was flowing the correct way. They just got stuck at a couple of spots because they didn't know. And then, like I said, a couple of spots where people had parked, had found spaces, made spaces for themselves. And, but I'm certain that it was just because it was really busy. It might have been a good library day. I don't know.
Tiger, can you quickly with your cursor just show what are the library spots?
Okay, so it's changed a little bit, but the library parking is
Right there.
through here, and then these two stalls, and then this. So it's basically bifurcated. The original thought was to do the library here and up on these two, all this, and give them the front facing. And then afterwards we decided, well, that was unfair to the commuters because we were stuffing them all in the back of the lot. So we, in essence, cut it in half. So this half is library, this half is commuters, and the commuters have a longer walk, right? Because they've got to go into Elm Street. So it's actually fairer. It's a little bit more equitable at that point. But somewhere in here, there is, and that was another thing that Maria noted. We had very nice striping, delineating library versus numbered space for the town. So that was actually an easy read on the pavement, and then the signage was an easy read as well. So I think that I know that there's been complaints about that, but when we looked at it, we thought it was pretty evident where who was who, what was for the library, what was for the town.
I think the signage is good, but do people complain that there's not enough? Like I went to a 5-person meeting at the library the other day. It wasn't even like big in the morning. And there were like 8 cars in this lot circling around for probably some I think it was like toddler story time. I mean, everyone was so stressed and so upset about the parking. And I'm usually not there like in the morning. So I don't know if that was like a one-off or if that's like how it normally is. It just, for the size of the library and the amount of people I saw in it, it doesn't seem like a lot of spaces.
Well, library only allotted a certain amount of spaces under, the whole lot is for anybody could park in the lot. Just if all the library spaces are taken, they would have to just park someplace else and pay. Was the whole lot full? Though I do know that it does get full at times, but the library was only allotted, and Tiger could talk to a certain amount of spaces, but the lot is open to anybody going to the library. They just would have to pay.
Yeah, no, the entire lot was full. Like literally there were probably 4 cars just sitting, waiting for somebody to come out.
I have seen it like that when there's an event going on at the library. It's even that part of Maple Street is like bumper to bumper zoo, and people are crossing and stopping. It gets
And this wasn't even an event. Like this was just a Tuesday morning. It was just Tuesday morning. I'd be curious to see what it's like other mornings. I don't know when their like children's programming is or what else was going on there, but like the cafe was packed. People were there, like the whole library, all the meeting rooms were full. Like there were just a lot of people there.
We do find that Tuesday, Wednesdays, it seems to be the morning hours, maybe up until 10 o'clock, because we'll get our employees who have business permits in that lot calling to say they couldn't find a spot. So whatever going on in the library at that time, usually it's busy on those 2 days up until about 10, 11 o'clock, and then it clears out. But that's when, of course, the employees are parking to go to work. So we have heard those complaints, but again, we can't stop anybody from utilizing those spots as long as they're paying. Doesn't matter where they go.
And what are the like trucks that are parked in the lot there?
There's a couple of the tow trucks from CNH and AC Auto. So CNH is right here, AC Auto is across.
Yeah. Oh, got it.
And
Got it.
the ones that have longer bins, storage area, we allow the
Mhm.
flatbeds to park there because they were parking on Main Street over here and then on Maple Street, East Maple.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually very difficult to turn out of Maple onto Main when one of the tow trucks was parking in the parking spaces that are here. So I actually pulled
Right.
it down. Yeah,
Yeah,
the,
we talked about
how
that in a
many
commission meeting
spaces-
Yeah.
like a year ago.
Yeah, are they allocated? So,
I thought it was 4 or
Like five?
5. I think it's 5.
like five.
As you
So
Stacy would know better.
The ones
But
that
we
are,
tried to stuff them into corners. So
Mhm.
again, so you see where they've got a lot of overhang specifically
It's 4,
off the
Tiger.
back.
Mhm.
What?
I think it's 4.
I think it's 4. Sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you. Yeah. But again, yeah, we tried to put it in a spot where they had a lot of distance to back in. So they got a lot of distance to back in, and then they have a lot of overhang. And since this one overhangs right to their fence, if they back into it, they back into it. It's their fence. So, sorry, but that was the thought. That was the reason why they're placed in the locations that they're placed, is to give
Right.
them an opportunity to navigate, to get in and get out without actually having a problem. Any other spaces start to become problematic for them, and then they would be sticking out into the travel way, and that's not what we want. So, but that was a police commission. Whoa, that was a while ago. That it was that the police commission actually directed them to park in the lot and get off the street, because we had a lot of problems specifically here. This was very problematic here, trying to make this turn out of Maple Street with the cars parked here, and then they were parked up here along East Maple, which was causing same exact problem for people coming out of East Maple. There was some issues there. And it was
And they
also
used to be able to
narrowed down.
park to the curb there. We talked about this, like a year ago or something. They used to be
Right.
able to park like right up to the
Yes,
curb.
it used to
Yeah.
be, right. So this wasn't here. This triangle wasn't here. They used to be able to park all the way up to the curb, and that was to the crosswalk. That's exactly right. And that made it even harder
Yeah.
to get out, because they would put 2 to 3 trucks in this area alone. And then it was almost impossible to see coming out. So the police commission decided that's been a while.
Yeah,
10
no, that's
years or
helpful.
more.
People like ask, they're like, oh, you're on the commission. Why are there all these trucks parked?
Yeah, that was it. It was just literally, it was considered traffic calming and a safety issue. And we have had complaints about them being there. We've had complaints both ways. We've had complaints when they're on the street, have complaints when they're there. To me, I would rather err on the side of safety, than not. So, and I don't know if they pay a permit, but
They do now. We just started, yes.
all right, so they pay a permit,
pay
which
for
is
those spaces.
right. So if they pay for the spaces, then we're not losing any revenue. So it's even better at that point, But yeah, that's the plan for center. And then if there's another complaint or something comes in, or people, we'll come back out after we stripe it. Maria and I'll come back out again and see how it flows again, see if it's better. And then if there are still more concerns, we'll see what we can do. It's just a busy lot, it's a very busy lot, because of the library and because of everything else that's going on. Any other questions or?
Tiger, I have one question going back to Elm Street. When
Yeah.
will we be doing the work that will gain us the 5 spaces?
So I'm going to the selectmen on Tuesday for the purchase of the bricks. We just got permission to purchase the granite. Granite should be here in a couple of weeks. I think they ordered it last week, and then we're going to go out to bid. And when the weather gets better, we're hoping to come out. So I'm hoping to be out there in April, May, and do the bump outs, and then look to pave. And once we do the bump outs, the spaces pretty much return at that point in time, and then we'll resurface it. And likely the resurfacing will be in July, August, after the sidewalk sale, before everyone comes back to town. So like July 21 to September 1, say, or August 26th, say. That month will be the time when we'll get in there. So the rest of it, it's just almost too difficult to try to schedule it.
So,
And then we'll put the decorative crosswalks back in, and then hopefully no utility company comes back in again for a little
oh
while.
God.
Yeah.
So for the 2 days that you're going to be doing that at night, is it going to be closed for the first like 24 hours of that, or are you going to do one
No.
night?
No, it'll be open because we'll mill and then we'll pave. So milling will be one day, paving will be the next. It'll be open in the morning. It'll be open. Last time we did it was either a 10 o'clock close or an 11 o'clock close. I can't remember. And a 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock opening. So before yoga places open or Dunkin' Donuts or anything like that. So we were
Right.
pretty much I think the 8-hour window was 10 to 6. It's been about 10 years or a little bit more since we did it, but it worked.
Right.
It worked very well. And like I said, it was a 2-day operation, and we'll be able to open it in the morning, and no one will be worse for the wiser. And then we'll get the striper to come in a week later or so. We have to wait at least a week, 2 weeks to let the oils come out of the surface. If the oils don't come out of the surface, the cars will just track it all over the stripes, and then the stripes will be dull and you won't notice the difference. So there'll be a little bit of time frame in there where on the angled spaces specifically, it'll be a little bit it won't be as methodical, I guess, or as laid out as nicely, because you'll be waiting for each car to stack up. So for that couple of days, it'll be a little bit I don't want to use the word free for all, but it won't be striped, so it'll be a little bit there'll be spaces in between the cars a little bit wider. We might lose a space or two here or there
Right.
during that time frame.
And at the time, where are you on restriping that area of the 15-minute spaces on Morse Court? Was that going to happen along with this Elm Street thing? Remember, like about 6 months ago, I guess we talked about it. And then they wanted a handicap spot there. And we said, well,
Yeah,
let's
we
see what
looked at that.
happens.
We're not going to be putting a handicap. The spaces, the disabled spaces will stay where they are.
Right,
It's not going to. They're better served where they are than
Where they
across
are.
the street.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's going to stay a 15-minute zone.
And then,
Is it 15-minute now? Is that, Stacy, is it
Yeah.
15-minute
Yeah.
now? It's
Yeah,
going to stay a
the whole
15-minute
length
zone.
of Morse Court, that street is all 15 minutes.
so this
Right.
project that will be happening in the summer, which will be great, it's not going to coincide at all with any of the other discussions that we've been having in terms of allocation of space or pricing on Elm Street, right? That'll happen whenever that happens. We talked about putting metered spaces in and having, all of that sort of been out there for a while, but
That I'll have to, yeah, I'll have to
Yeah, that
discuss it with.
shouldn't affect it, I don't think. I'm sorry, Tiger, go ahead.
That's okay. Yeah, we wouldn't want to do everything on top of itself. So we'll, one way or another, whether whether it gets paved first or it gets paved later, we'll work around whatever the schedule, but we'll make sure that nothing, falls on top of itself. It'll be
Right.
more of a systematic approach, so there won't be any confusion about
Right.
that for the patrons.
great. Well, it sounds great.
No problem. Anything else? If not,
Anybody have any questions? Any other
No,
questions?
thank you so much, Tiger.
Thank you,
no problem. All right, thanks.
Thank
You
you.
guys have a good night.
Thank
You
you,
too.
Tiger.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right, we'll see you.
Okay, so we circled back to our appeal person.
You want
Allison.
to do that before your report or,
Oh, sure. Actually, I put that down, but right now it is a very calm time in the parking department. Nothing new going on, which is good because it allows me to catch up on a lot of things and prepare for things moving forward. Or address things that, like center school and everything. So I have no updated news to give you as of yet. Everything is status quo with me for now, maybe next month, but right now we're good. So, yeah, nothing to update you with.
How's the search for a new software? Was that in your
Uh,
budget?
I'm putting together a proposal. I
Yeah.
have 3 companies. And that's why I'm putting the proposal together, working with them, and then I will bring it to Board of Selectmen, Deanna, Town Administrator. So it's working, it's moving forward a little slower than I had hoped. But when I have more concrete information to give you, I certainly will let you know what's going on. Right now, it's still very fluid and up in the air, just looking at the companies and seeing which one would work best for us. I've kind of narrowed it down to one, but now I have to sit with the IT department to see if their software will work with our town. So that's my next step. So there's really nothing to update you with that just yet, but I'm still moving ahead. You know, the company that I have now has kind of changed a little bit of hands, so I kind of have a little bit better contact with some customer support, but still, their software program is not 100% for this town on how we need to run our permit program and our ticket program and things like that. So I'm still, I think, looking to get somebody else at this point. So it's still still working on it, and as soon as I get something a little concrete, I'm hoping by next month I can give you a little bit more definite of a rundown. Still a little bit up in the air with some things, but we're moving ahead slowly. It is a slow process. But other than that, it's it's smooth. It's pretty status quo.
good. Yeah, it seems things are kind of calm. which is-
Yeah, it's a good time of the year for us, you know.
All
So,
right. So then circling back to our appeal, does anybody have anything they want to talk about or comment on? Do we want to just move right to a vote to either uphold or void the ticket?
I'm good with
I was a
that.
little surprised by the what's it called? The fire hydrant. When I looked at the picture, I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. But then like after seeing the fire hydrant, I didn't even realize that there was a fire hydrant there until I looked at the Google Street View.
it has been there for a very, very long time, but again, it's within the guidelines. It's
Yeah.
more in the lot, it's not on the street, it is in the lot.
Yeah. And there is a sign that says 2-hour parking.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, it looked closer when she was trying to show us that picture on her phone over the Zoom. The the fire hydrant looked closer to the car than in reality when it appeared on the Google picture to me.
Mhm.
So, all right, well then can I ask for a vote? Do we, God, it's been so long since we
I
voted.
know,
Parking
yeah,
appeal.
I know.
I can't
it's either uphold or void.
Right, right. Well, I'll start if you want. I vote to uphold the ticket.
Yeah.
Two,
Yeah.
agree.
Oh yeah. To uphold the ticket.
Uphold
Yeah.
the ticket.
Got one, yeah, okay.
It's too bad, but it's those stripes again. To me, it's like, how could you get out of
Yeah.
your car and not see the stripes? But
Yeah, well, when I looked at that picture as well, after the appeal, she was
Also
pretty.
cautionary about turning off the rear camera,
Mhm.
because I
Yeah.
think she would have seen that she was on the sidewalk at the
Yes.
rear camera.
Yeah,
So-
it would have started beeping. I don't think the curb is as low as she's thinking it is. I think it's all pretty consistent.
Yeah, it didn't look low in the Google.
no,
I mean, that spot is just kind of problematic, right? It's right up at the entrance of
Mhm.
the thing, like
I will
that's not
say
in,
that's
in
not-
any other spot, that wouldn't be a spot, you know? I
Right.
mean, so I'm gonna uphold it, but I'm kind of like, that spot kind of
That
stinks.
has been, that spot has been there for as long as I could remember. And we've never had really complaints about it at all. And I think, we try not to lose spots if we can avoid it. That's a big area to put as a no parking zone. Because there is a bit wide enough turn. If you go a little further, it's wide enough for someone to go into the lot. That driveway is wide enough for somebody to make the turn and not go near
Yeah,
that.
and I think you should feel your car when it goes up on a curb. I mean, we've all done it, but you do feel that it happens.
It- You would think, but
especially backing into it.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, accidents happen, but when the accident results in a ticket, it's still a ticket.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so I guess we are.
So that being decided, it is now 7:58 PM and I will ask for a vote to adjourn the meeting, or a motion rather to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Kevin, Marley, okay,
Given.
great. Meeting adjourned. We'll
Oh,
see you.
One quick question.
Sure.
Do we need another commissioner?
We do, and it's my understanding that they're working on it.
Okay.
They're working on it. They had asked me a couple of weeks ago to make sure that Drew had gotten his, oh, forgive me, I'll just use the word withdrawal. He put in that he was withdrawing from the commission. That was all set in place. He did that back in August, so they have all of that. They just wanted to confirm it. I don't think they were able to find it initially, and I'm told they're working on it. They know that you guys need one more and they're working on it. So hopefully soon. It's the best I can tell you. I'm sorry.
Thanks,
No,
Stacy.
no, I actually have some ideas, so I'll reach out to.
Oh, okay. So feel free to reach out and share them, I guess, with Deanna, or I think you might have to, if you know somebody, tell them to go to their party and they
Yeah.
will contact the selectmen. I think that's how it's supposed to go.
Yep.
All right.
Very good.
Thank you all very much. You guys have a great night and I will see you next month.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you
see
all.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year. See
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Change.